もしもし。
Welcome in to another episode of Phone It In right here on Sobros Network. I don't know if this is even live right now because the video, I guess, was skipping around or something. I don't know. Were you seeing it or was it normal for you?
I wasn't watching it the whole time. I don't normally just sit here and watch it.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just on my end. Maybe I'm having internet issues again. But nonetheless, I'm Stoney. She's Rooster. And this is Phone It In. Mine's right, ass is tight, all that good stuff. SobrosNetwork.com. Subscribe, rate, review to Phone It In wherever you take in your podcasts. If you're watching with us live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, hop in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling today and what you think about our subject of discussion on today's episode. The Queen of Mystery, Agatha Christie. I'm fighting allergies. This is going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
I can feel it already. Rooster, what made you want to dive into the tale, the life and times of Agatha Christie?
Well, like most of these topics, she's been on my list for a while. And I thought it seemed like a person, we should do a person.
It's been a minute since we've done a person. Yeah. I feel like.
And I remembered hearing, I think what made me put her on the list is that I remembered hearing she had she disappeared. Like there's a disappearance, a scandal. So that made me put her on my list.
Some fun conspiracy theories out there.
A little bit. I mean, it turned out to be less than I expected, but as these things go, but yeah. Whatever.
Are you a fan of Agatha Christie's work?
Yeah, I've read a couple of her stuff. I haven't read a ton. I should read more, but I've read a few.
I don't think, and shout out to Eddie. Eddie's in the comments already. This is going to be fun. Haven't read her work since high school. I had to read one of her books for a class, and I can't recall if it was high school or college, but I had to read one, right? You break down like a book report thing. And I haven't read anything since. I'm not opposed to it.
We did high school. We did and Then There Were None, I think. I think that's like her most famous one.
Yeah, that sounds familiar to me. That's ringing a bell for some reason.
It had a different title for a little bit, like 12 Little Indians or something ridiculous.
You can't. Right. You can't say that anymore. We should do an Agatha Christie book report for Phone It In.
We should. Okay.
We'll read it and write about it, and that's it. That's our thoughts.
I read
book club.
I bought the Orient Express from McKay's, I think, and that was the last one I read. So like a couple of years ago.
I always see her books show up in like the horror section, but I never thought she was really horror. So I don't know what that's about.
I don't know. I mean, I guess there can be some overlap between mystery and horror.
Well, they tried to make that last movie that's based off of one of her books.
Oh, that's true.
I
saw that.
Or whatever. Yeah. They tried to make that look like a horror movie. I never saw it, but
I did.
Was it any good?
I honestly can't remember. I think I remember it being a little slow. It was very Agatha Christie. Yeah. Like it could be anybody. It like red herrings, who done it, classic. It was a little spooky, but like not horrifying.
I really liked the Murder on the Orient Express that they did. Not so much a Death on the Nile fan, and I never saw Haunting in Venice. So
I didn't see the two that you've seen, I guess.
Yeah. So, but together we painted
Yeah.
a complete picture
Yeah.
of her. Oh gosh, what's the lead actor's name? I'm drawing a blank now.
From the one that I saw,
Yeah,
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh.
Branagh,
Yeah,
whatever, super Scottish or whatever his name.
yeah. So I at least we can piece that together.
Mm-hmm.
Really great summation of her work here on this episode. I see her stuff at McKay's quite a bit, and
Yeah.
I never got into it. I mean, I don't know. I've been kind of on a Stephen King kick lately, not reading
Okay.
stuff, but just acquiring his stuff for my library.
That's fair.
I mean, I read like 10 books a year, so this is how fucked up my brain is. I'm so focused on work all the time that I like to look at my library. I'm like, when I retire one day, that's what I'm going to do with my time. I'm just going to sit and I'm going to read. I'm going to try a new recipe every once in a while. I'm going to put my little ambiance videos on YouTube and I'm going to relax all the time, when really I could just do that right now after I clock out. I could spend a few hours just doing that every day, but I don't think like that. No, that's my retirement goal. It gives me something to look forward to. So I have bookmarks in like 6 different books right now, and none of them are Agatha Christie or Stephen King. I don't think I even have an Agatha Christie in my collection.
Yeah, I just have the Orient Express.
Yeah.
I've been doing nothing but reading like horror books lately.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you've ever read any Carl Hyacin stuff, but I like him quite a bit. I'm reading one of his books right now, and then the rest are football books that are teaching me like the intricacies of quarters coverage and stuff like that.
I just read, hold on, I need to look it up for the author. I just read Grey Dog by Elliot Gish.
Okay.
Or Gish. I don't know. G's can be weird.
Gish. I like that.
But it felt funny reading that so soon after Harvest Home. I was like, I need to get off of these like folk horror-esque books.
I mean, I'm in for some folk horror.
Yeah. I mean, it was very female rage. It was just so goddamn slow. Like, I enjoyed the vibe. I liked the story. A lot of people left bad reviews because the main character wasn't likable, and just fuck off. Fuck you. Like, the main character does not have to be likable. The story doesn't have to be likable. This is horror. Grow up. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. This is horror. Grow up. I like it.
Let's have a shitty main character.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are shitty.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Like, I don't know which book you're talking about.
Grey Dog.
Because Harvest Home has a pretty
I know.
Pretty shitty main character too.
Yeah. I stopped rooting for him after he like raped that woman. But you know what?
Yeah.
Bad things happen in books.
Bad things happen in books. That was that was a pretty dramatic turn, though. I don't know.
That actually annoyed me quite a lot.
if we talked about that in that book, how like the sort of descent into madness kind of.
I texted you afterwards and I was like, I was rooting for this guy, and then after that, fuck him.
Yeah. For me, the moment I just turn this into a Thomas Tryon book review here. Yeah, the moment that it's when he interjects at the party. That there's something happening, and it's like, dude, you got to mind your own fucking business.
Where does he get off?
How does he think it's his place? I don't get it. Anyway, we're here to talk about Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
The life and times. If you have a particular favorite Agatha Christie novel, drop it in the comments. Chances are Rooster and I haven't read it, but we'll at least show it on screen. Rooster, why don't you take it away with a brief introduction to Agatha Christie for those that might not be familiar with her story.
Okay. So full name is Dame Agatha Mary Clarissa Christie, Lady Malawan.
Is that a part of her name?
I don't know. A title? The title.
How does that work? Lady Malawan.
Don't ask me about British aristocracy. Okay. I have no fucking clue. Like at a certain point, it's just like, here's your sticker. Like, what does it even mean at that? Like,
Dame Agatha Mary Clarissa Christie, Lady Malawan. That is a name.
That last Malawan is very close to like a weapons dealer in the Borderlands universe, and that's all I can think about. But anyway, it's a video game. So Nee Miller, she's born Miller. So born September 15th, 1890, and died January 12th, 1976.
I don't know why when I was a kid, I thought Agatha Christie was like a contemporary author. Like she was, I would see all the Agatha Christie books in the library and be like, oh, she must be churning these things out in like 1994.
I don't think I really had an opinion on when she was alive. It's an interesting thought, though.
It's just a random thought that popped into my mind whenever you suggested this topic. I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing some of her books when I was a kid in the library and thinking, oh, these are kind of scary books, but man, there's so many of them. She must be like really prolific.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
She
true.
was. She died in 1976.
Yeah.
She'd been dead for 20 years. When I'm
Yeah.
thinking, man, she's just holed up somewhere, like churning these books out.
It's just crazy we live from 1890 to 1976. Like the amount of change.
Yeah, that's
is wild.
It's quite a bit.
The way that technology changed in the course of the 1900s is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so she was an English author known for her 66 detective novels and 14 short story collections.
Oh, now see, I could do the short story collections.
Right.
That was news to me. I could go ahead. Sorry. Oh, are you burping?
Her books are pretty small. The novels are not huge. Yeah, let me grab.
Oh, is it show and tell?
Yeah. If I can fucking find it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I thought I had it right over here.
Guess not.
I thought I had Orient Express like right behind me. I don't know where it is. So I'm not gonna look. But it's not thick. You know, these aren't massive books.
Okay. I like short story collections because I can read like one at the end of the day and not have to worry about keeping my place and all that.
Mm-hmm. I miss that they're not more popular anymore. Like short stories. Like short stories. Yeah. Like we did Edgar Allan Poe, you know. Yeah. Stephen King even had like I love short stories. I have Stephen King short stories.
He's his latest book was a collection of short stories.
It's nice to get a whole plot. Just get to it, get out.
Man, again, off track here, but we just moved my mother into a new house back in November, and she's got like boxes and boxes of books. And we were using some to kind of prop up plate stands on top of her cabinets in the kitchen, so that they would stick above the little, I don't know what you call it, the little trim that's sticking.
Oh yeah.
So we put the plates down, and you couldn't see the bottom of them because the trim was hiding it. So we put these books up there, and we got into it, and she found like a really old hardback cover edition of Night Shift by Stephen King.
That's what I have.
A collection of his short stories, and I was like, man, this is awesome. She said, well, I'm just going to get rid of these books. I don't like these hardcover ones. They're very old. They probably have, you know, mouse poop on them and stuff. So like, take them if you want them. So I took that one. It's on my nightstand right now. I'm reading through it. And then I took it was like a curated collection of short stories by Alfred Hitchcock.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
I bet those are good.
So the covers were all like torn and faded from time, but I took them off, and it's like this black hardcover book with like purple and orange writing down the spine.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, this is like a decoration almost.
Isaac Asimov, I like his short stories a lot.
I haven't read any of his.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. 66 detective novels and 14 short story collections, particularly those revolving around fictional detectives Hercule Poirot.
Poirot.
And
I think that's actually Hercule.
Hercule?
Hercule Poirot.
Okay. Hercules Poirot. And Miss Marple.
I didn't know. Why does Miss Marple sound familiar?
There's a TV show.
Could have fooled me.
I think that both of them have TV shows, like BBC TV shows.
I'm just an uneducated hick.
Or maybe just not an Anglophile.
A what?
An Anglophile?
Is that what Agatha Christie fans are called?
No, just it's anybody that's just more into British culture than you should be.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. She also wrote the world's longest running play, the murder mystery, The Mousetrap.
I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
The board game?
That's what I'm thinking of. But like, I feel like that's like the MTSU student production of that was going on back in my heyday.
I don't think, no, I've never seen it. But it has been performed in the West End of London since 1952.
Does it say anything about Middle Tennessee State University in there?
No.
Okay. All right.
Now I'm burping.
Bless you.
A writer during the golden age of detective fiction, Christie has been called the Queen of Crime, a nickname now trademarked by her estate, or the Queen of Mystery. She also...
That's why I put Queen of Mystery in the episode description, because I didn't want the estate coming after me and suing me.
Okay. That's smart. She also wrote 6 novels under the pseudonym Mary Westmacott. In 1971, she was made a dame by Queen Elizabeth II for her contributions to literature. She is the best-selling fiction writer of all time.
Wow.
Right after, well, she's the second best-selling. I don't know why that. She's the second best-selling.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's the second. It's right after William Shakespeare and the Bible, you know. Got him.
Oh, God. Got him. Oh, man. So it's Bill Shakespeare and Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
And King James.
Yep. King James. Wrote it himself.
Our guy Virgil from South of Sanity, an awesome candle review channel here on YouTube, chimes in. All my books are for decoration. I'm practically the same here. I think I've read maybe 10% of the books on my shelf right now. So keeping that spirit alive. What's your favorite Bill Shakespeare?
I don't really like Shakespeare.
I don't either. He's
really like it.
Full of shit. I found this awesome leather-bound book at I don't know if it's actually leather-bound. I don't know why I said that. I'm saying that to describe a style. I found this awesome collected works of William Shakespeare. And it's like everything he ever did. And I thought, that will suffice in my collection. I don't need to go find a whole bunch of William Shakespeare bullshit. Just give me one book that has everything in it. I can put it in my library, and that way it's there. For decoration. Yeah, exactly. For decoration. So, you okay? Just,
adjusting my chair.
You just getting comfortable there? Live on the stream?
I would say probably like maybe Macbeth, just because, you know, it's Scottish and there's witches. That's probably it.
Hang on, he didn't do Beowulf, did he? He just took the mythology and made it what are those called? A play. Did he actually make it a play?
No, because Beowulf is like one of the oldest stories.
Yeah, because there's
old English epic poem. Yeah.
Nobody even knows who wrote Beowulf.
No. And it's written, I think it's not even written in like English as we know it. Like it's written in Old English. Yeah, Old English. I think I just bought a copy that has like the dual language, whatever. So that's cool. But yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of something else that he took and transcribed and made it into something. I don't know. Maybe not. But I do love Beowulf.
Beowulf is pretty dope. Which, like, damn, what a good story for being so old, you know? Like, good job, author.
It's like the bones of storytelling, right? Like
Mhm.
it's a foundational piece, it doesn't get much better than that.
True. So, anyway, Agatha Christie's childhood. Yeah, there's nothing particularly fascinating about her childhood, so I just
Cool.
kept it simple.
All right, let's
Not
do it.
super interesting. She was born September 15th, 1890, into a wealthy upper middle class family in Devon, England. She
Okay.
was the youngest of she was the youngest of 3 children. Because her siblings were so much older, there were few children in their neighborhood. Christie spent much of her time playing alone with her pets and imaginary companions.
Me too, girl.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why, because their siblings are so much older. Oh, and they were okay. I can't even read my own shit.
Okay.
According to Christie, her mother believed she should not learn to read until she was 8. Don't know why, but thanks to her
Rule.
curiosity, she was reading by the age of 4.
Damn, I don't know that I was even reading by the age of 4.
I was reading pretty early on, but I don't remember. Like, I don't know when.
I don't man, I can't even remember what the first book I read was.
We had tons of books, like just hand-me-downs from my siblings, so they were just around. But yeah.
How did
Yeah.
did she teach herself how to read?
I think a lot of kids, when kids who start to read early do, kind of like, if a lot of times like they're read to and then they're just curious about it and they like watch the person read, they like have the person read to them and look at the words and they just kind of start reading. I don't know, kids are so damn smart. They're spongy little brains.
I can't even comprehend how
I
you would just
know.
like pick up a book.
Starting to learn a language just by
Yeah.
like watching somebody read is crazy.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like communicating with my cat in a way. Just like, I'm going to watch you, your facial expressions, the tone of your voice, and I'm going to figure out what you say.
Okay. Yeah.
Same direction.
Yeah. I mean, the fastest way to learn a language is just by being in it and figuring it out.
Yeah.
Cat language.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Her sister had been sent to a boarding school, but their mother insisted that Christie receive her education at home. As a result, her parents and sister supervised her studies in reading, writing, and basic arithmetic, a subject she particularly enjoyed,
That's interesting.
I guess.
Well, I mean, I don't know too many like literary types that are like, yeah, fuck right, arithmetic.
That's true. She does seem very smart. Agatha Christie seems pretty smart. Like, throughout her life, she stays curious in like academic stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so they also taught her music, and she learned to play the piano and the mandolin, which
How
that's
about
fun.
that?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, man, she should have done like a world tour in the 1950s or something later in life and just played
They
piano.
So she almost like there is a future where Agatha Christie becomes like a musician.
And then we never know who Hercule Poirot is.
Is it actually Hercule?
No, it's not. It's Hercule.
Okay. Like, you're gaslighting. You're just gonna keep saying Hercule until I believe it.
No, no,
Like,
no.
well,
It's
he could be right. Hercule. Yeah.
Hercule.
Hercules.
Hercule.
Um, she really loved reading. So at the age of 10, she wrote her first poem, The Cow Slip.
Where can we get a copy of that?
I know. I am curious what that looked like.
I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, if you can read it for us.
Okay. It is the first recorded piece. Okay. Agatha Christie, The Cowslip.
Do you actually find it?
Below is a poem. It is the first recorded piece. I found this on a random WordPress site. Agatha Miller at just the age of 10. Have this as the introduction. Okay. The Cowslip. There once was a little cowslip and a pretty flower too, but yet she cried and fretted all for a robe of blue. Now a merry little fairy who loved a trick to play just changed into a nightshade, that flower without delay. The silly little nightshade thought here life a dream of bliss, yet she wondered why the butterfly came not to give his kiss. There's no way that's real. There's no way
For
that's
a
really
10-year-old? That is
yeah,
crazy.
that's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit
Damn.
on that WordPress blog.
No, the English were just incredibly stuffy back then. So she's already like acting like a 30-year-old woman.
I mean, to be fair, like you did kind of grow up at a younger age back then. So
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe
Mhm.
we'll never know. We will never know
We'll
because I will
never know
never
if that's
I will never look
actually
it up.
true or not.
Yeah, it was a nice poem, whatever it was.
By 1901, her father's health had deteriorated because of what he believed were heart problems, which is very vague, and I don't know what it means. So
It's
we're gonna move on.
1901, baby. 1901.
He died that same year in November from pneumonia and chronic kidney disease. So Christie later said that her father's death when she was 11 marked the end of her childhood. I don't know. The cowslip is already pretty mature, girl. Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might have just been like, I'm not trying to make a joke here, but the final nail in the coffin. It's just like, all
Yeah.
right, I'm a grown up now.
Yeah, that's fair. Their financial situation deteriorated. Christy was the only one living at home at this point, so she was sent to a girls' school where she had trouble adjusting to the discipline after, learning just being at home.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I would suck at any sort of boarding school.
I think I would love it.
I can't do it. Was talking to my mother about this the other day, and because I said we were talking about my draft notebook, and I told her like I've had blisters on my fingers from writing so much the last month. I've gone through like 6 different pens, and I said, there's something I just love about writing something down. It helps me commit it to memory better.
Yeah.
And she called my ass out on it. She was like, well, that sure is different from when you were in school because I couldn't get you to do your homework and all that. And I said, I think my problem is I don't like when somebody tells me I have to do something. That makes me not want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people like that. And then a lot of people really enjoy it. So
I'm not a person that would enjoy it.
I would enjoy
it. I would be miserable. I would be miserable.
In 1905, her mother sent her to Paris, where she was educated in a series of boarding schools. It's like a thing they have. So it's not like she was just forced from one to the other. It's, I don't know, school system in Paris in 1901. Who the fuck knows 1905? But she was focusing on voice training and piano playing. So, yeah, deciding she lacked the temperament and talent, she gave up her goal of performing professionally as a concert pianist or an opera singer. So that was her goal as a child.
I hate to hear anybody giving up on their dreams, though.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out for Agatha Christie in the long run, but
yeah,
still kind of sad.
Yeah, well, it's good to know that then, though. It's good that she figured that out at a young age of like, you know what, maybe this isn't actually for me. So after completing her education, Christie returned to England to find her mother ailing. They decided to spend the winter of 1907 and 1908 in the warm climate of Egypt because they're wealthy British people in the 1900s, and that's what you do. And I wrote, I wonder if they ate a mummy while they were at it.
That's a nice callback.
Yep. It was a huge thing. It was a very big thing. Around this time, and specifically, they thought there was a lot of medicinal qualities to it. So I, like, legitimately wonder she
Oh,
probably did.
yeah, because her mom's ailing.
Her mom is sick. They're like, "You know what, mom? Let's go get you a mummy.
They were
Fix you right up."
If they were rich enough, they could have procured one.
Like, we need to stop kidding ourselves. The English are cannibals, okay? 1900s, the English are cannibals.
We have an important update from our guy, Stephen McCash. There's video of someone reciting the cow slip from her handwriting.
Okay.
So.
Is it you? Did you just do that?
It's already on YouTube.
See, talking about you. From her handwriting. Okay, that's fair.
So yeah, they ate a mummy. They 100% ate a mummy.
I think so.
We can confirm
I would bet
that.
on it. Yeah.
Unless the
Heard it
estate is
here
watching.
first.
Unless the estate is watching, in which case this is just
No, this is allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. We made it up on a whim, but allegedly.
Could you imagine? And like, oh, I'd like to learn a little bit about Agatha Christie today.
Well,
Like,
she and her mom ate a mummy.
They ate a mummy. Yeah.
Just totally made that up. But it's believable.
I mean, we're just connecting dots here. That's all.
So at 18, Christie wrote her first short story. Of course she did. Overachiever.
Yeah.
It's called The House of Beauty. So while recovering in bed from an illness, I wonder if the mummy got her sick.
Could have been.
It consisted of about 6,000 words about madness and dreams, subjects of fascination for her.
Sounds pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Around the same time,
find it online.
Probably. Around the same time, Christie began work on her first novel, Snow Upon the Desert, writing under the pseudonym Monosyllaba.
How about that? That kind of goes hard. I kind of like that. It kind of
does.
Yeah.
She set the book in Cairo and drew upon her recent experiences there. She was disappointed when the 6 publishers she contacted declined the work.
Man, I bet those 6 publishers feel stupid today.
Yeah.
Well, it's I mean, they're not alive, I'm sure, but you know.
It's like the I don't know.
Why did she write under a pseudonym though?
She's a woman. I imagine it's just easier to get public. Although monosyllaba sounds like a woman's name. I don't know. Why was that so trendy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the like the Bronte sisters did that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure that they all did it. Fucking J.K. Rowling did it even. Like these English women just can't stop themselves. But
then it comes out who they actually are, who's actually writing it. And I'm like, well, then what's the point of this all along?
Yeah. It's like if you're not sticking with it, why are you bothering? I guess even Edgar Allan Poe, didn't he do it?
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah. If I write something under a pseudonym, I'm going to take it to my grave.
Yeah. No one will ever find out.
Unless I'm like, getting royalties from it. Like it becomes this like Harry Potter success. And then I'm kind of like, people are like, oh, we have to know who. I don't know.
That's fair.
Patrick T-shirt is. I'm like, oh, fuck. I've got to go out there. Somebody's going to be like, that guy looks an awful lot. Patrick T-shirt looks an awful lot like Stoney Keeley.
So you're using a pseudonym, but also just putting a picture of yourself in the jacket of the book?
No, I'm saying if it takes off like Harry Potter, I'm going to get invited to talk shows.
Oh, I see.
And all that stuff. And they're going to be like, here's Patrick T-shirt. And
I like the idea of doing a pseudonym, but also just putting your picture.
I like that too. Yeah. You could put anybody's picture there though.
That's true. So, okay. Meanwhile, Christie's social activities expanded with country house parties, riding, hunting, dances, and roller skating.
Just picturing like Silverados or something. The Rusty Nail Country house
Oh,
parties.
country. Um, so I wrote this. Her entire life is very painfully British. Like she's just very stereotypical, like upper middle class British,
Mm,
you
mhm.
know. Um, so in October 1912, she was introduced to Archibald Archie, uh, Christie at a
The Archie.
dance. Yeah, like in the comics.
Yeah.
Um,
Royalty.
at a dance given by Lord and Lady Clifford at Ugbrook.
Yeah, this is British.
What is Ugbrook? Doesn't sound very British though. Um, the son of a barrister in the Indian Civil Service. Archie was a Royal Artillery officer who was seconded to the Royal Flying Corps in April 1913.
Wow.
The couple quickly fell in love, and 3 months after their first
Oh,
meeting, Archie proposed marriage and Agatha accepted.
I can't even imagine. I mean, I know
Yeah.
different times, obviously,
Hmm.
but 3 months? 3 months?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't
No.
know. I just watch Pride and Prejudice, and it's like they fall in love in like a couple of meetings and then they're getting married. It's like, okay, you don't know this person.
But I guess back then it was like, you just never knew when something could take you. So you just had to you just had to roll the dice if you just remotely felt anything.
Well, and it was all about marriage. It's like if you have that chemistry, you get married, and then the idea is like, well, you have plenty of time after you're married to get to know each other.
Yeah, y'all can sort this out after the fact.
Mm-hmm. It's just all about marriage at that point. God,
What a world.
I just want to be a spinster. Like, get me out of that. I don't want anything to do with it. Um, so, with the outbreak of World War I in August 1914, Archie was sent to France to fight. They married on Christmas Eve. Um, Christie involved herself in the war effort as a member of the Voluntary Aid Detachment of the British Red Cross
Man,
from October 1914 to May 1915. Then from June 1916 to September 1918, she worked 3,400 hours. Her war service ended in September 1918 when Archie was reassigned to London.
man,
So
that's kind of crazy.
that was pretty crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine a life living between all of those years, like 1890 to 1976 is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, you're like one of the greatest mystery writers of all time and you're just, devoting to the effort of the British Red Cross.
Living through two wars,
Yeah,
two world wars, getting married
man.
after meetings 3 months after meeting somebody. Like, damn,
Ate a mummy.
allegedly. Using inspiration from Belgians she met during the war, she wrote her first detective novel, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, in 1916. It featured Hercule Poirot, a former Belgian police officer with magnificent mustaches. I don't know why they pluralize it. Like, what's wrong with the English?
I don't either.
And a head exactly the shape of an egg.
They left
Who
that part out of the movies.
Yeah, that's true. He had hair. He's supposed
Yeah.
to be bald. Um
What a crazy looking person.
Just a bald guy with a ridiculous mustache.
Whose head is the exact shape of an egg.
Yeah. That's
It's
so
like
specific.
cone heads almost.
Well, what kind of egg? Because I mean, out in nature, there can be different shaped eggs. You know, they don't have to be that cone headed.
Well, I'm just thinking about a chicken's egg, like
Well, a
in
chicken's
in
egg
my
that
fridge.
you have in your fridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Man, a cone head with a mustache. That's all I'm thinking
And
about.
that's Hercule Poirot.
What you said. Uh, you said that with so much like throaty Frenchiness that it's just delightful.
Well,
That got me. That got me.
Always been known for my throaty Frenchiness, so that tracks.
Who had taken refuge. Okay. What?
I was gonna say, damn, Eddie, 3 months is wild. I've never even had a relationship last that long.
Oh, you're putting them on blast.
Kelly chimes in, 90 Day Fiance or eat mummy jerky.
Ooh.
Are we choosing?
Yeah, do we have to choose?
Or is that the show? The people
I've never watched 90 Day Fiance, so I don't know. Is there an ultimatum that happens?
I don't know. I don't know either.
90 Day Fiance, though, get me out of here. You know what I'm saying? And then I will eat mummy jerky. Who says you can't have it all?
You can't have it all. That's right.
So stupid.
Is mummy jerky technically like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a redundancy? Because wouldn't the mummy skin already be like petrified? Not petrified, dehydrated. That's what I'm looking for.
No, I think you're right. It could be redundant. Yeah.
Cool. We got there somehow.
I think there's also something like mummy honey.
Ugh.
Am I making that up?
Don't know. Are you looking up mummy honey right now?
Also known as human mummy confection, was a legendary medicinal substance created by steeping a human cadaver in honey. I don't think this is exactly what I was thinking of. Jesus Christ.
What is this called?
Mellification. The production of making honey. What is happening? There's something called the mellified man.
They just dumped a dead body in a vat of honey. What health benefit is this supposed to provide? That just regular honey isn't going to provide on its own.
Okay, this is about a specific person. Okay, I'm just going away from that. I'm going to save this actually for later.
So you guys are here for the moment when you wonder in a couple of weeks, why are we doing an episode on mummy honey? This is the moment.
Here we are. I stumble on something and I'm like, that sounds crazy. Okay, so Hercule Poirot, who had taken refuge in Britain after Germany invaded Belgium. So she settled into married life after all this, gave birth to her only child, and started writing, publishing books in earnest.
She got on that grind.
In 1922, the Christies joined an around-the-world promotional tour for the British Empire exhibition, BARF, in here, because, they're just stealing shit. And they're like, come look at our stuff that we stole from your countries and the mummies that we ate.
Yeah.
But this is interesting. So while on this tour, they learned to surf prone in South Africa. Like, I guess you just lay on the surfboard.
No clue.
Then in Waikiki, they were among the first Britons to surf standing up and extended their time there by 3 months to practice.
I mean, what a resume.
I know.
What a resume.
What a person.
Crazy.
What a wild time to be alive. Just so many like new ideas and shit happening.
Do you ever think about,
especially when you're a colonizer?
Do you ever think about what it would have been like to live back then? Like what, like you might have been the first person to do back then?
Right. Yeah. I think about it all the time. I mean, I don't know what I would be the first person to do, but
yeah, I don't either. I might have been, I don't know. I mean, there might have been a timeline where I was like a bank robber.
I could see myself doing that.
I don't know. See, I'm just not a gun person. I feel like you really had to follow through. Like if you carried a gun into a bank back then, you had to be prepared to shoot somebody.
Well, at least like shoot at the ceiling,
Yeah.
Like a show of force.
Yeah. Just
I think people back then were like really pussies. I'll just say
You think so? You
They're
think so?
just gonna fall on the ground like, "Oh."
Yeah,
No,
I
people do
mean,
that now. We're all pussies.
yeah. I like I don't know, somehow this is gonna end up back to me going back in time to Dodge City again.
I was actually
But
thinking about, like, this is probably gonna end up with you being a blacksmith and me a tavern whore.
I would be a blacksmith, yeah. That would be a nice existence. But see, like, what if I could have been William Shakespeare? If I was the one back in the day that was like, "You know what? I'm gonna start writing and we're gonna, like, act this shit out on stage. How does that sound, guys?"
I would have liked to just be like a smart chick, smart chicks were always doing
Well, they would have
something new back
burned you at
then.
the stake.
Yeah, that's probably true. Honestly, I have no energy for entertaining performative feminism. So I'd be like, just fucking kill me. I don't care. Like,
And
it's just,
that would have been that.
yep.
Oh, we've got a nugget from Kelly here while you take a sip of whatever's in that cup.
Mm.
I watched a doc about King Herod, I think.
Harad?
Herod. He allegedly preserved his wife's body in honey and continued to visit her for a time after her death. Dark. Can you preserve bodies in honey? No, you're looking it up now.
Yeah. I sure am.
Can I write that in my will? Like, don't put me in a coffin, just put me in a big vat of honey. You show up to
Well,
my
I think that's
funeral
kind of
one
what I was
day.
looking at for this mellified man thing. Was like they just dunked him. I don't know. I guess it could. Maybe they would imagine it's kind of like amber or something.
Oh yeah, because they're stupid.
Yeah, they're all idiots. I just Googled the stupidest thing. Don't worry about it. There's also a guy who there was this weird relationship where put that one up because it's relevant to what I'm about to say too.
Wait, what? Put what up?
The visit comment.
Oh, I didn't see it. I've got the Google Doc up.
So yes, there's another one kind of recently where it was like this guy like groomed this woman or something. I don't know. No, he like was her stalker. He was obsessed with her, and she was pumped with so many like weird preservatives and stuff to keep her like very realistic. And this guy would visit her. I can't remember his name. And literally, what I just Googled was "guy who visit dead wife," which is so stupid.
This is a podcast about Agatha Christie.
Very loosely.
Yeah. Touche.
But I'm gonna have to look up that one because that might be another phone it in. I'm just collecting them today.
There we go. Yeah, we need a working doc of topics.
Okay, her disappearance time.
Okay.
So 1926 rolls around and Christie's mother, Clarissa Miller, dies in April. They were very close and the loss sent Christie into a deep depression. In August, reports appeared in the press that Christie had gone to a small village to recuperate from a breakdown caused by overwork. Which, can you imagine being that like famous already at that point that
that's
you
wild.
can't even take like a vacation or a break from just, even if it were just burnout, like God forbid.
Yeah. What constituted a breakdown back then, do you think?
Honestly, they're so goddamn stuffy. I feel like anytime you're going through anything emotional and just need a break, it's like a breakdown.
Yeah, that's kind of
like,
what I was
she's
thinking.
being so hysterical. It's like she's sad her mom died.
It's like she's a little off today.
Right.
She must be having a breakdown.
Yeah. So that's what I imagine.
Yeah.
Like everything is so repressed that you start showing any emotions and you're having a full meltdown.
Yep. I'm with it.
So that same month, Archie asked Christie for a divorce.
Ooh.
Because he had fallen in love with and been having an affair with Nancy Neal, a friend of Major Belcher, who was the guy. Yeah, I know. Who was the guy who led the British Empire exhibit tour.
That is so fucked up.
Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a
That is
lot.
a lot.
Um,
I'd be a
so
little off.
yeah. On December 3rd, the pair had a fight over Archie announcing his plan to spend the weekend with friends unaccompanied by his wife. So late that evening, Christie disappeared from their home. I think she put their daughter to bed and then just left. The following morning, her car was discovered in Surrey, parked above a chalk quarry with an expired driving license and clothes inside. It was feared that she might have drowned herself in the silent pool, which was just like a lake that was right around there.
Okay.
So this is a quote from the police. God,
You okay?
it's all that rum and coke.
Okay.
So this is a quote from the police report. The car was found in such a position as to indicate that some unusual proceeding had taken place. The car being found halfway down a grassy slope well off the main road with its bonnet buried in some bushes, which is just the front of the car.
Mm-hmm.
As if it had got out of control. So in the car was found a fur coat, a dressing case containing various articles of ladies' wearing apparel, and a driving license indicating that the owner was Mrs. Agatha Christie of Sunningdale Berks.
Man.
Yeah.
That's like...
That's pretty scandalous.
Back then, like, you could have gotten away with that.
What do you mean?
I mean, you could have easily, like, faked your own death back
Oh,
then.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that would be cool. That might be something I might consider pulling off.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Just, like, fake my own death and just, like, dip town.
Live under an assumed name somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably show up, like, 50 miles down the road and nobody would even know.
Especially if you're British at that time, just go to, like, any of your little colonized countries, be an expat, you know?
Yeah, man. See?
Be smoking all your cigarettes in the Cairo sun.
We might have thrived back then.
That does sound lovely.
Just, like, fake your own death every, like, 8 months or so. Just travel the world.
Who needs a breakdown? Fake
Who
your
needs a
death,
breakdown? Yeah.
start over.
Yeah.
Just start over. Yeah, that sounds great. So the disappearance quickly became a news story. The press sought to satisfy their readers' hunger for sensation, disaster, and scandal. Home Secretary William Joynson Hicks pressured police, and a newspaper offered £100 reward, which is equivalent to £7,500, which is useless to us. So that is equivalent to $9,949 in...
Damn.
Yeah.
They weren't offering shit. $10,000?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, a reward to finding somebody, $10,000, that's not bad.
Okay.
What is a normal reward?
Well, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but I'm thinking, like, for a celebrity.
Okay.
You know, that's got to be like the equivalent of 100,000. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like 50 to 100,000. Yeah, that's probably not a lot. You're right. It's because she's a woman.
Yeah.
More than 1,000 police officers, 15,000 volunteers, and several airplanes searched the rural landscape. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle gave a spirit medium, because he's such a fucking idiot.
What a tryhard.
He was so into that stuff. He was such a dummy. We talked about him in the fairies. You remember the fairies that he fully believed was a real picture of fairies?
Yeah, I feel like we've brought his name up several times for being a fucking total dipshit.
Well, it was like the Ghost Club or whatever that was.
Yeah. The Ghost Club. That's right.
Yeah. full on in on it, which is crazy for the person who wrote Sherlock Holmes.
It is. It is, yeah.
So he gave a spirit medium one of Christie's gloves to find her. What a
I
time
guess
to be alive.
doing my best here.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
But that is funny that the author of Sherlock Holmes was like, we don't need a detective. We need a spirit medium.
Yes, yes. Here's how I can contribute to the search. We're going to get a fairy.
Here's her glove. Sniff her out. Despite the extensive, how did he even have one of her gloves? Whatever.
Ooh.
Despite the extensive manhunt, she was not found for another 10 days. On December 4th, the day after she went missing, it is now known she had tea in London and visited Harrods. I think this is like a department store, where she marveled at the spectacle of the store's Christmas display.
I do the same thing. That sounds lovely.
On December 14th, 1926, she was located at a hotel in Yorkshire, 184 miles north of her home in Sunningdale, registered as Mrs. Tressa Neal, which is the surname of her husband's lover, Neal. And she said she was from Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow.
A man who had seen Agatha Christie that night reported that she was, so the night that she disappeared, reported that she was sparsely dressed for such an inclement morning and that she appeared strange in her manner. I honestly hate how stuffy they are. What is this?
Yeah, I don't get it.
She's sparsely dressed for such an inclement morning. Okay.
Yeah, nerd. These fucking nerds.
And she appeared strange in her manner. Like, are you just sitting there watching her? Like, help the lady out. What are you doing?
You don't know, dumbass. Sit down.
Anyway, I hope that means she was like wearing a slip or something. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Is she just like in her underwear?
I don't know. Was she like stumbling around?
There's too much propriety. Tell it how it is. She was stumbling around in her underwear.
Maybe she was having the best of times, blowing off steam.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had too much to drink and stumbled around in my underwear sometimes.
I don't think she was drunk, though.
Oh. Yeah, there's nothing said of that, but I'm saying, you know, it's easy to foresee a situation where that could happen.
So her ankles were exposed. That's a pretty good one. Yes, too much propriety back then.
Yeah, Eddie chimes in too. I missed it. If George R.R. Martin went missing 100 to 200K, HBO would have their hounds out.
I think we've all accepted he's not writing anymore.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit. He's just working everybody.
Yeah.
He's going to die. It's never going to be finished.
But it's true. Like, the propriety is crazy. Like, just taking that quote, like, imagine your mom that you're close to just died. And then your husband you found out he's been having an affair. It's not even like asking for a divorce. It's like he's been having an affair and loves somebody else.
Yeah.
And you always have to constantly be so like, oh, she was so strange in her manner. Like, you have no space to act out at all. So, yeah. I imagine breakdowns were pretty common breakdowns.
Yeah.
So what do you think happened? I mean, we're probably all just on the same page.
It's fucked up.
She just... Well, and it's just so much worse when you try and repress stuff. You know? Like, so when it comes out, it's going to come out harder.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like she just wanted to get away.
Yeah.
It was like, here, we can do this. To get 184 miles away, though, like, I don't think she's walking 184 miles.
That's true. Like, there is the question then of like, how aware is she? Because, okay, so here are the theories. 2 doctors diagnosed her with an unquestionable, genuine loss of memory. Yet opinion remains divided over the reason for her disappearance. Some, including her biographer, believe she disappeared during a fugue state. Theory that Christie planned the event to embarrass her husband, but did not anticipate the resulting public melodrama. Another biographer provides an alternative view that Christie disappeared during a nervous breakdown, conscious of her actions, but not in emotional control of herself. That seems probably most realistic because she's driving a car and stuff.
Yeah, but I want to know how she got the rest of the 184 miles away from home.
Yeah, because it wasn't her car.
It wasn't her car.
Maybe she hitchhiked.
Yeah. But weird to think that she would like survive hitchhiking back
like
then.
10 days. Well, yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that would be a very safe method of travel, but I don't know.
Wouldn't more people recognize her? Like, she's pretty famous.
Yeah, especially 10 miles from home where they found the car or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she had help.
There's also the theory that public reaction at the time was largely negative because they all assumed that she was doing a public stunt or an attempt to frame her husband for murder, which that pisses me off so bad.
That's fucked up.
That pisses me off so bad.
Crazy.
Because like she can't even have a breakdown.
No.
Without being like, oh, her poor husband. Are you fucking kidding me?
Of being accused of plotting.
Like, she's just trying to embarrass her husband. That bitch has been having an affair and her mom just died. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't do it.
Okay. So Christie petitioned for divorce against her husband in April 1928, which was made absolute in October 1928. Archie married Nancy Neal a week later, and they were together. But they were together until Nancy died. They were together. So,
Man.
I mean, at least there's that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you think it's real.
Maybe don't marry somebody after 3 months of knowing them.
Yeah,
that's the moral of the story.
Words to live by, for sure.
Christie retained custody of their daughter, Rosalind, and kept the Christie surname for her writing. Reflecting on the period in her autobiography, Christie wrote, "So after illness came sorrow, despair, and heartbreak. There is no need to dwell on it." Very English, of course.
Yeah. We're just, yep, it was there. We're moving on.
Mm-hmm. In 1928, Christie left England and took the Orient Express to Istanbul and then to Baghdad. In Iraq, she became friends with an archaeologist and his wife, who invited her to return to their dig in February 1930.
She's still doing interesting shit.
Yeah, I know. Well, colonizers. So what can you do?
Touche.
On that second trip, she met archaeologist Max Malawan, 13 years her junior. Christie and Malawan married in Edinburgh in September 1930. She's still marrying so quick. That bitch did not learn her lesson.
You think like,
yeah.
I guess, everybody has their faults.
Their marriage lasted until Christie's death in 1976, though. So that one lasted.
There's a lesson here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't marry people you've only known for 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Also, young men love an experienced woman, just happens.
Hey. Yeah.
I mean, well, so much is said about like men marrying younger, but a lot of times very successful relationships also happen between older women and younger men. And it's not mentioned that often. So here we go.
Agatha Christie.
She accompanied Malawan on his archaeological expeditions, and her travels with him contributed background to several of her novels set in the Middle East. During World War II, Christie moved to London and lived in a flat at while working in a pharmacy at University College. So she worked at a pharmacy. She kind of learned that stuff during World War I, where she updated her knowledge of poisons.
Why not? Why not?
Her later novel, The Pale Horse, was based on a suggestion from Harold Davis, the chief pharmacist at the University College Hospital. In 1977, a thallium poisoning case was solved by British medical personnel who had read Christie's book and recognized the symptoms she described.
That is so crazy.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
That is very cool.
So even after she passes, she's still...
Yeah, that's true, because that's after she died.
Yeah, that's...
And he's like, you know what? I read a book on this. I think this is thallium.
That's so crazy.
From 1971 to 1974, Christie's health began to fail, but she continued to write. Her last novel was Postern of Fate in 1973. Textual analysis suggested that Christie may have begun to develop Alzheimer's disease or other dementia about this time, which makes me curious to read it, because
I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah.
Like, I wonder, can you tell then? Can you tell?
Mm-hmm.
Christie died at home on January 12th, 1976 from natural causes. She was 85 years old.
About that. It's a
life.
Long, eventful life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. One for the ages.
Definitely. You can't really have lives like that anymore unless you're rich
No.
as hell.
I was just about to say, I don't think you can. Yeah. This makes me want to go pick up a couple of her books. I might have to hit up Thrift Books because there's a couple that I want anyway. So
yeah, they're just such good, easy, classic whodunits.
Yeah.
Like, very enjoyable.
Yeah. I like the style.
I've watched some of the show.
Yeah.
The Poirot one. Yeah.
Poirot.
He's such a silly little man.
With his egg.
They always make the detectives like autistic as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Like Sherlock Holmes, Hercule, like they have to be just insanely smart, weird guys.
They're just savants.
Savants, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the end of our agenda on Agatha Christie. I think we can get on out of here today and give these fine folks watching their evening back. I found that to be quite informative, though.
Yeah.
A life worth celebrating, if you will.
Yeah. I'm surprised by how like quintessentially English it all seems.
I am surprised by that too, because I don't know, like I know we did the episode on Mary Shelley, and it was like, I don't know, I felt like there was a little more goth to it.
Yes.
And this, I was expecting, given the style of Agatha Christie's work, I'm like, oh, there's going to be some fun goth stuff in this.
No, apparently she was very interested in like adventures. She never liked TV or movies that much. She was really interested in being outside in the world. She loved sports. She loved adventures. It makes sense that she got with an archaeologist then. Like, she was very interested in the natural world, which is not super goth, really.
It's not.
No.
It's not. No. Well, that is going to do it for us today. It's Virgil chiming in again. I learned a lot about honey today.
Yeah.
We did learn a lot about honey today. That's going to do it for us. Rooster, are you do you have any social media you want to promote anymore?
Rooster_Chase. I'm barely online, so
yeah,
I'm
I need to write a new exit for us, because it's like literally on the screen at the bottom of the episode.
Oh yeah, that's true. It is there.
People don't need to know that.
But then like the last 20 posts are just retweeting this
show. Yeah. So, well, that's going to do it for us then. Rate, review, subscribe to Phone It In wherever you take in your podcasts. We are out here in these internet streets. We ain't too hard to find. She's the Cryptid Queen Rooster. I'm Big Natural Stoney Keeley. And until next time, you stay classy, phoners.
Bye.